The Paddy Chayefsky Laurel Award for Television Writing Achievement is given to the member of the Guild who, in the opinion of the current Board of Directors, has advanced the literature of television and made outstanding contributions to the profession of the television writer. When Aaron Sorkin handed me the Northwestern script, the Northwestern speech that Will McAvoy delivers in the first episode of Newsroom, I knew what I had because I'd been waiting decades for that speech. And I knew that if I threw everything at it that I had, just as Aaron had thrown everything at it that he had in writing it, that we had the chance to do something that probably will outlive us both. When people ask me, when do you know you've made it? My answer is when you're hired by a writer like that. Great writers have a singular voice, a command of the craft, and something to say. That's Aaron Sorkin. But don't take my word for it. There's film.
Thank you. Jeff, having you hand this to me is a big deal. And I want to say to the younger writers here that there aren't many actors like Jeff out there. So if you're lucky enough to work with one, don't let them out of your sight. I just got finished shooting a movie about a young woman who ran the world's most exclusive high-stakes poker game, and I offered Jeff Jessica Chastain's part. Early one morning, a long time ago, my father came over to my apartment where I was living in New York because the Academy Award nominations were being announced, and there was some hope that a film I'd written that year would be nominated. And when it wasn't, my father said to me, Aaron, how many people in the world do you think woke up this morning with even a reasonable expectation that they might get an Oscar nomination? And that's when I discovered that for most people it's an honor just to be nominated. In my family, it's an honor just to be overlooked. So you can imagine how they and I feel about getting recognition like this from a group of people like this. I can't accept an award for my work in television without thanking Thomas Schlamme. Tommy's the walk part of the walk and talk, but he's also much more than that. He's the best director, the best producer, the best partner a writer could ask for. I have some other friends here tonight. My agents are Emmanuel and Jason Spitz, my lawyer Rich Heller, my publicist Joy Feely, and my assistant of 18 years Lauren Lohman, and but for them I would not be standing here tonight. When it was announced that I was the one who was getting this year, two different friends of mine said, you know, I always dreamed of getting the Chayefsky Award. I never dreamed of getting the Chayefsky Award. My only dream was to be a professional writer. My dream was to be able to pay my bills with the money I made writing. It was to be a member of the WGA. And from time to time, I write stories about politics, and so it was suggested to me that I might have something to say about the situation in which we currently find ourselves. It'll come as no surprise that I do. So, in the spirit of Paddy Chayefsky, here goes. We've been told that as coastal elites, we're something less than real Americans and that we're out of touch. If you find it mind-boggling that living and working in the two largest cities in America makes you less than a real American, you're not the one who's out of touch. If you don't find it remotely credible that 3 to 5 million people voted illegally in our last election, you're not the one who's out of touch. If you think climate change is a global hoax being perpetrated by unscrupulous Chinese scientists in cahoots with every other scientist and a cunning long con to get grant money, you're not the one who's out of touch. If you think the New York Times, the Wall Street Journal, the Washington Post, NBC News, CBS News, ABC News, and CNN lie with impunity and that the only trustworthy news source is Fox and Friends, you're not the one who's out of touch. And if you don't think that turning away people who are seeking a safe haven from unspeakable brutality is a morally defensible idea, then you're not the one who's less than a real American. So what can we do? A lot, actually, because the most powerful delivery system ever invented for an idea is a story. The men and women in this room and in one just like it in New York are America's storytellers. and we come from everywhere. We are old and young, black and white, gay and straight, wealthy and struggling, and yes, liberal and conservative. The most powerful delivery system ever invented for an idea is a story, and we're America's storytellers, and my dream of being one of you has come true. Thank you very, very much.